Good morning everyone, I'm sorry to break it to you, but your camera is lying to you and today we're gonna fix that together. Alright guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to talk to you about why your camera is lying to you. You might have already, sorry cat, we can't see anything. You might have encountered that problem already where you're looking in your viewfinder or at the back of the screen and you're like, whoa, the photo, what I'm about to shoot looks amazing, but once you click it and you check on your computer or even at the back of your camera, you realize it's totally different from what you wanted. Well, there are a few reasons for that, and I remember struggling with that a lot, especially in terms of highlights when I moved from optical viewfinder to a mirrorless camera that has an electronic viewfinder. So I'm gonna share with you 4 tools that are built into your camera that you can use every day to make sure that this never happens to you again and that you get awesome shots. So let's get started. Let's keep it super short. Something to know before is that your electronic viewfinder or the back of your camera is actually acting just same as any monitor, because if your brightness is all the way down, then you're gonna feel like everything's too dark, but if it's all the way up, the contrary is going to happen. So you might have to adjust between the night scene and a daylight scene in order for you to see correctly the exposure. That's why I use the electronic viewfinder a lot versus the back of the screen, but sometimes you don't have that option if you're shooting on a phone or in one of those cameras. So there is a tool, universal, across all cameras, and it's called the light meter. I touched a little bit about it earlier, but it is very important. This is what is going to tell you if your shot is overexposed or not, and this is how you go around your camera lying to you, the monitor not giving you accurate information about it. You want to make sure that you're hitting the 0 to have the correct exposure depending on the light meter you use. If you don't remember that, check out that video. But light meter is the first tool you should always look at, no matter what you're seeing in your electronic viewfinder or on the back of the screen. This is so crucial. This will save you so many times. Now the second tool might not be built into all cameras, but I think it is in most of them. It is something that highlights the highlights, if that makes sense. It highlights basically the parts where you clip in the blacks or in the whites. And for example, when you're looking through an electronic viewfinder at the sky, you might not really realize if you're overexposed or not. So what you do is you review the image and then it might be blinking on the sky just to inform you that, oh wait, careful, that sky is actually completely burnt out where you don't have any information in it. Please take a shot, correct your exposure and make it better. You can try it in your camera right now. If you have your camera, grab it in your hands and try with me. Let me know if you have it or not, because I think this is a real lifesaver in my opinion. Before we move to point number 3, I want to thank Mike, who sent a voice message on the Anchor.fm app for the podcast, because that gave me that idea of doing that super short video. You were asking why are cameras lying to us, exactly what I'm talking about right now. So this is my way of answering. I'm gonna answer it also on the podcast, guys. Podcast link in the bio. Listen to it while you're going to cook, while you're running, when you're on the metro, when you're going to a shoot, no matter what you're doing and you need your eyes, please listen to the podcast. Okay, number three is actually zebras for highlights. So a lot of cameras, maybe not all of them, but again, grab your camera and check with me. If your camera has it, it's something called highlight zebras, and it's gonna show zebras like that bands on your screen wherever you're in the overexposed parts, and you can set from what point you want it to start working and where you want it to stop. But it's very, very important. I use it a lot. It's always turned on my camera. That just allows me to know that, for example, the side of a person is completely blown out or not. It's super important. If I'm losing information in the highlights, I cannot recover anything. So very, very good tool to use whenever you're not sure. And last but not least, guys, is number 4. And number 4 is actually the histogram. If you can, turn on the histogram on your cameras. Most mirrorless cameras nowadays have it built in. And again, the histogram is gonna show you how the light is distributed on your image, which means in theory, you don't even need to look at the image. You could just look at the histogram and be like, oh, that's cool. I know it's gonna be correctly exposed without ever seeing the scene. That would be pretty weird to take photos like that, but why not? That histogram is gonna give you that information, which means if you're not sure just looking at the screen what you're getting, well, that tool is gonna tell you. All the way to the left, the mountains to the left means all the blacks, and all the right, all the highlights. So if you see mountains on each side, then that's gonna be a problem. If you wanna dig deeper into the histogram, watch the other video on exposure. But those 4 tools are gonna be life-changing if you've ever faced the problem of your camera lying to you. Now I know I said I would keep it super short, but I just wanna add something. If you're shooting at night or in the cities, for example, something super important, please dim the brightness of your screen because it's gonna lie to you so badly. For example, if you leave it in the normal function, like for daytime, you're gonna feel like everything looks amazing. You're like, wow, there's so many stars in the sky. And once you're gonna import that photo, it's gonna be absolutely dark. The reason being is you're in super dark environment. This is super bright, so you feel like everything's coming out. You might have like +2 of exposure just looking at the screen like that. So reduce it all the way to the minimum when you're outside in the dark, and you will see a result that looks a lot more like the reality of what you're gonna get versus what you just saw on your camera with a super bright backlit screen. So that's it, guys. I hope this has been helpful. I really want to thank each and every one of you who have been watching the channel lately. There are a lot more new faces around here, so welcome everyone to the adventures. If you don't know what exactly is happening on that channel, but I'm a travel adventure photographer. I'm traveling to a bunch of awesome places around the world, making tutorials on site and also sharing the photography adventures. So if you like that, make sure you hit the SUBCRV button if you haven't done it. So it's gonna make a huge donk. It's gonna make a huge donk once you ring that notification bell. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna be notified for all the adventures. You don't want to miss any, guys. I'm sharing a lot of information. I think it's very helpful, at least from your comments. So with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Remember, get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new, and I will see you. Yes, I already said it. See you guys, bye. Now, guys, for those of you who are still watching, I have a little question for you. Would you like me to change the intro music or not? I've seen comments about it, and yeah. If you do want me to change it, please send me suggestions of music that you might like or style of music you think would go well with my jumping intro, because finding music is difficult. Maybe you know a cool artist I should use. Please let me know in the comments. I think I'm gonna go shoot in the morning at sunrise. Bye.